Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. We are starting off with some news from the art world. The city of New York has approved a record $323.8 million in funding for culture, which is a 7% increase over last year's budget. This allocation will go towards the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs and includes a $10 million Cultural Stability Fund to support struggling cultural organizations. This move aims to make life more affordable for New York artists and help them continue to thrive in the city. In other news, a retrospective dedicated to the late Argentine artist León Ferrari was cancelled at the Museo Nacional de Bellas Artes in Santiago due to budget cuts by Chile's newly installed far-right government. The exhibition had been 3 years in the making and was scheduled to open in June, but unfortunately, it fell victim to the government's budget slashing. Additionally, many Jewish museums in Europe have experienced a noticeable drop in attendance since the October 7, 2023, Hamas attack in Israel. Museum leaders attribute this decline to the Public's Association of Jewish Institutions with Israel and a rise in anti-Jewish sentiment. We'll also be keeping an eye on the situation at the Palais Garnier Opera in Paris, where toxic levels of lead have been discovered, delaying its planned renovation. And finally, in a strange incident, a resident of Murcia, Spain, picked up a painting he found on the street because he liked its elegant golden frame, only to later discover that it was a valuable Joaquin Sorolla painting. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're taking a look at a developing story from the Asia-Pacific region, where an American pilot has been shot dead by Papua separatists in Indonesia. According to reports, Nicholas F. Gosselin was killed after his plane landed in the Yahukimo Regency and the aircraft was subsequently torched. The West Papua Liberation Army, or TPNPB, has claimed responsibility for the attack, stating that the pilot was targeted because he allegedly brought Indonesian troops into a conflict zone. The group's spokesman, Sebi Sambam, said that civilian aircraft have been used to transport military personnel and logistics into Papua's remote interior, despite warnings from the separatist group. It's worth noting that this is not an isolated incident. In recent years, there have been several cases of foreign pilots being kidnapped or killed by separatist groups in the region. The conflict between Indonesian security forces and Papuan separatists has been ongoing for decades, with both sides accusing each other of human rights abuses and violence. The Indonesian government has yet to comment on the latest incident, but it is likely that they will face pressure to respond to the killing of the American pilot. The U.S. Embassy in Jakarta has also not commented on the matter, but it's possible that they may issue a statement in the coming days. As we try to make sense of this complex and sensitive situation, it's essential to remember that there are multiple perspectives at play. While the separatist group claims that they are fighting for independence and self-determination, the Indonesian government views them as a threat to national security. Meanwhile, foreign governments and organizations are calling for calm and restraint and urging all parties to engage in peaceful dialogue. The situation in Papua is a reminder of the ongoing challenges faced by countries in the region, from issues of sovereignty and territorial integrity to concerns about human rights and economic development. As we continue to follow this story, we'll be keeping a close eye on any developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, let's take a look at the latest developments in the Strait of Hormuz. The interim agreement between Iran and the United States has led to an increase in shipping traffic through the strait, but it's still well below pre-war levels. With around 200 ships believed to have crossed the strait since the agreement was signed 2 weeks ago, there are concerns that the situation could evolve negatively at any moment. Iran is controlling and monitoring the routes used by commercial vessels, and shipowners remain cautious due to the risk of further hostilities. War risk premiums have fallen but remain high for ships operating in the region. The agreement states that all blockages must be lifted and no transit fees may be imposed for at least 60 days, but after that, the two countries have very different visions. The United States wants full freedom of navigation through the Strait of Hormuz, while Iran wants to retain control over shipping routes and introduce transit fees in the longer term. This uncertainty has led to fluctuations in fuel prices, with Brent crude currently trading at around $72 a barrel, down from $138 in April. Natural gas prices have also been falling since mid-June. Despite the ceasefire, there have been incidents of Iranian forces opening fire on an American oil tanker and the United States carrying out strikes against an Iranian drone storage facility. Both sides have accused each other of violating the ceasefire, but so far the exchanges have not escalated further. As we look to the summer holidays, it's likely that disagreements over transit fees and shipping routes will continue to complicate navigation through the Strait of Hormuz. We'll be keeping a close eye on this developing story and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.